Well, it's pre-Friday, aka Thursday, April 16th, 2026. I am Peaches. Normally, I would say you could get a hold of me at 208-535-1015, but I'm pre-recording this in the Cannonball 101 studio. As a matter of fact, I don't even have my proper music beds in here because Victor is still doing the morning show over in the K-Bear studio. I'm doing this as of like 9 a.m. this morning, all right? I shared this article on my Facebook page at Brendan Peach. I very sarcastically typed in the caption, "Oh, really?" Because everyone knew this. A federal jury has officially decided that Live Nation and Ticketmaster are, in fact, a monopoly. The company that charges you $4 to print your own ticket at home has apparently been up to some dodgy business practices. Shocking stuff, right? After years of investigations, lawsuits, and what felt like roughly 1,000 news cycles, a coalition of around 30 states finally dragged this thing to a jury because the federal government had already negotiated a settlement and then quietly walked away from it earlier this year, right? Remember that whole thing? The original Department of Justice case accused them of locking out rival promoters, bullying venues into exclusive deals, generally behaving like a company that knows you have absolutely no other option. Which again, huge surprise, right? Even Kid Rock saw this coming. You know, he publicly asked why they were even bothering with a settlement. Just let 12 people decide, he said, and eventually 12 people did. What the punishment actually looks like is still to be determined, but for now, justice has been served. Only about 15 years and approximately $900 in booking fees after most of us figure this out ourselves, right? Anyway, it's Peach's Pit Party right here on K-Bear 101. I'll have some more crap to talk about here in just a few. Okay, so who in the world is actually buying this? There's a house on Zillow right now, $75 million. And before you ask, yes, it is in both New York and Connecticut at the same time. The property is so big, it literally spans 2 states. Here's my question, though. Are there actually billionaires out there just casually surfing Zillow? Like, do they do the thing where you zoom in on Street View and then spend like 4 hours looking at houses you can't afford? Because that's what I do. That's a peasant activity. You know, this house is insane. 268 acres, 8 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, a hedge maze, a literal hedge maze. Could you imagine that? Why do you need 14 bathrooms? You could change bathrooms like once a day, and you wouldn't be done for the next 2 weeks. Isn't that insane? 4 guest houses, a private lake, an Olympic pool, a sauna, a library. I could only imagine I would never leave home. $75 million. Again, does some billionaire out there just see that on Zillow and go, yeah, you know what? Maybe I will buy it. Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. So the internet, the very thing I live on because of this job. You know, you have to post on social media every single day if you work in radio. The internet has decided that the hottest trait in a partner right now is being completely unbothered by the internet. How do you say this? They're calling it the Luddite boyfriend. Is that what they're calling it? Is that how you say it? No social media, no posting, no presence. That's it. I feel like it's the opposite for me and Aubrey. Like, the roles are fully reversed in our lives. I am out here documenting everything. You know, I post all that I can, whatever concerts we're at, everything. Aubrey has accounts. She has them, just doesn't use them. And you know what? According to this article, that makes her a green flag. You know, she's grounded, she's present. I hate this whole red flag, green flag thing. I really do. She's not living for an audience. Well, unfortunately, I am, because look what I'm doing right now. You know, I'm not only posting on social media, I do a radio show every single day, highlighting personal stories and all of that. You know, I could only imagine, you know, like fast forward to like our wedding in the future, and I'll have this whole like post made about it. And she might, you know, upload a picture of the sunset on her story, something like that. Good old AC/DC. It was on this day back in 2016, they announced Brian Johnson was going to be replaced by Axl Rose for a short period of time. Talked about it yesterday. Could you imagine you go to see AC/DC in concert and Axl Rose is the lead singer? I was also seeing something that Taylor Momsen is just having a very rough time on tour with AC/DC. Not like mental health crap like that. No, I'm talking about like she just keeps getting attacked. Did she get bit by a bat previously? Something like that. She had a run-in with a bat. And then now, just recently in Mexico City last week, she got bit by a spider before the first of their 3 shows with AC/DC. It's continuing to give her problems. Momsen posted a photo of her leg where you could see the infection and wrote, "Hospital today, show tomorrow, poisonous spiders are no bueno." You should see the leg picture. There's a giant purple mark on her leg. The Pretty Reckless is amazing live. I mean, they sound just like the recordings. I feel like that's the biggest gig to have, is to open up for AC/DC, or maybe even like in the modern day, opening up for Sleep Token. That's also one of the biggest deals, one of the biggest gigs you could get. Make sure, by the way, to check out our concert calendar. It's always available to you at riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. Yesterday, Gwar was in Boise. Who's coming tonight? Is there anything going on tonight over in Salt Lake or Boise? I wish I had the calendar pulled up, but this computer's running kind of slow here. This Cannonball 101 computer kind of sucks. Again, I'm in the Cannonball 101 studio pre-recording this show because we got some stuff going on later this afternoon. Now it finally pulls up here. Okay, now let's go to the concert calendar, filter out all the other shows. Oh, look at that. Wait, why is Hinder still on here? Did I mess it up? Yeah, it's still listed for some reason, even though that show happened on April 5th. Tomorrow night, if you want a heavy show, Behemoth, Deicide, couple of other bands on that lineup at the Knitting Factory over in Boise. This weekend, I'm going to be making my way over to Salt Lake City at the Union Event Center for Bill Murray, the home team, and Gain. Also, that same night in Salt Lake, the band Thursday. If you grew up with late 90s, early 2000s alternative, you might be familiar with Thursday. My friend Brian Zeal, shout out to him. I think he's going to that show. Bloodywood. Also, they're newer to the scene. I love their tour name. I thought their tour name was hilarious. System of a Brown. They're making fun of themselves. System of a Brown with the Pretty Wild, and I think there's one other band on that lineup as well. Again, that's tomorrow night at the Revolution Concert House in Boise. Go check out our concert calendar. It's always available to you at riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. I just realized since I'm pre-recording this in the Cannonball 101 studio, I don't necessarily have access to my music beds because Victor is still doing his morning show, so I'll be using his music beds. Instead, why not do the Red Dead Redemption house building song behind me as I talk about sports, huh? Many big-time fans of pro wrestling aren't very happy about how involved ESPN host Pat McAfee is in their sport. And their complaints have grown louder because of how involved he is expected to be in WrestleMania 42 this weekend. Usually being featured at WrestleMania is a reward for full-time wrestlers who work all year. Critics are furious that the show has been hijacked by McAfee and feel decisions about the story and the tone of the extravaganza are being made by corporate leaders instead of the storytellers who should be in charge. Again, people complain. Surprise, surprise. Over the weekend, Rory McIlroy made history by winning his second consecutive Masters, but according to his biometric data, he celebrated like a true champion and paid the price the next morning. Rory wears a Whoop band, you know, that fitness tracker that measures recovery on a scale of 0 to 100%. A green score near 100 means your body is primed for peak performance, while a red score means you're exhausted or, in this case, maybe dealing with a hangover. After 4 days of elite-level green scores, Rory's recovery score cratered to a measly 7% on Monday morning. It seems like walking 91,000 steps and maintaining a resting heart rate of 47 beats per minute all week. He let his guard down Sunday night, woke up Monday morning in rough shape. All right. Oh, croquet made the news. What's going on here? Neville Sanford of New Zealand has officially been named the Guinness World Record holder for the world's oldest competitive croquet player at age 101. Amazingly, Sanford didn't even start playing the sport until he was 79. He was 101 years and 262 days old when he competed in a tournament in the city of Wellington and set the new world record. There's something to be said for lifetime sports, even if you're a young guy. Are you crushing it in lifetime sports like golf, tennis, pickleball, or swimming? How about yoga, too? That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. Tomorrow from 11 to 1, Victor is going to be at the grand opening of Pony Express's newest location right there on Northgate Mile. Come hang out, take advantage of a limited time deal. They're going to be doing this thing where you could get your first 3 months of a membership with Pony Express for just $10 a month. Victor will be there with goodies. Also, your chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Papa Roach set it off in Autumn Kings live at the Portneuf Health Trust Amphitheater in Pocatello, July 23rd. You know how we've been giving those away with just back-to-back tracks this entire week? That contest, that pair of tickets, is only going to be given to somebody who shows up to Pony Express Car Wash tomorrow. Northgate Mile. Put it on your calendar. He'll be there 11 to 1. Now let's do some Sleep Token emergence on Peach's Pit Party. It's K-Bear 101. I'm so glad that I'm alive in the age of GPS, in the age of, hey, you can literally have directions at any time as long as your phone is charged and you can just plug your phone into your car. I have my my Apple Maps take me everywhere. All right. Unfortunately, I'm not good with navigation. Now, I do know some places, like I do know how to get to like either Walmart or those places I've been to 100 times. Now, that I can go without the maps. But anywhere new, I will always use GPS, especially if I'm like going to a place from a place that's not my house kind of thing. Like if people tell me like, oh, this place is in the west side of town, I would have no idea. No idea. Especially if you're that person that tells me to go south or something like that. I will just sit there. Or actually, you know what? I would get out of the driver's seat and make that person drive if somebody tried giving me directions, telling me to go south or something like that. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Aubrey and I just watched that movie 30 Minutes or Less. The whole premise gives me secondhand anxiety. Driving pizza, delivering pizza under a ticking clock. No GPS back in the day when this was a thing. Luckily, pizza places stopped doing this promotion, trying to deliver a pizza in 30 minutes or less. Otherwise, it's free, because it would just promote dangerous driving. In that movie, in the very beginning, you see Jesse Eisenberg basically trying his absolute best to get to this house as fast as possible. And I don't think he even had GPS on the thing, did he? I don't know. It's been about 2 weeks since I've seen the movie, and I already forgot. That movie is kind of forgettable too, but back in the day, you didn't have the Apple Maps, Google Maps. You had a Thomas Guide. You had MapQuest. Remember that when my parents would they would what's it called? They would print out those pieces of paper with directions, and then they would tell me to shh in the back seat, so that way they could focus on doing so. They could focus on, my mom could focus on giving my dad directions on how to get there. Well, fast forward to now. Researchers found many gig drivers believe they have to speed on the majority of their trips or risk being shut down by the algorithm for taking too long. Because the reviews and also the tips mean a lot for delivery drivers. Make sure to tip the delivery driver all the time, all right? They're doing their best to get you your food for you. I've been doing that quite a lot as of late, even though I shouldn't DoorDash my food, but every single time I'm done here after work, I'm like, I just want to go home and sit at my computer, have somebody else bring my dinner to me. Nine Inch Nails, Head Like a Hole, of course, on K-Bear 101, Idaho's only rock station. It's Peach's Pit Party. Nine Inch Noise, I should say, is going to be releasing a new collaborative album titled Nine Inch Noise, not Nine Inch Noise. Did I really just say that like Mike Tyson? 9 Inch Noise, Halo 38. 9 Inch Noise Halo 38 with Boys Noise is going to be released tomorrow. New music and remixes heavily tied to their Coachella performance. I'm excited for more new music from all these different artists. I mean, obviously coming up during the 5 p.m. hour, I got your It's So New track of the day, a new one from Electric Callboy. They did this track with the creators of Brawl Stars. I think it was the creators. I'm not exactly sure. It just says Electric Callboy and Brawl Stars. I think they just made the song for the video game itself. Kind of like how Tom Morello teamed up with Caleb Shomo of Beartooth to release that song Everything Burns for like Final Fantasy 48 or something like that. Tomorrow we also get the brand new EP from Wage War. That's going to be awesome. I might play that entire thing during the 5 p.m. tomorrow, during the 5 p.m. hour tomorrow here on Peach's Pit Party. Jeez. Here's the warning. Kerosene. It's K-Bear 101. K-Bear 101, it's Peach's Pit Party. You know how you're supposed to check in on old people to make sure they're doing okay? They could just drop dead any second. I've talked about that very gross story in the past about how, like, in Florida retirement homes, sometimes they don't get checked in on and they'll pass away. And it's so hot in Florida that the bodies literally melt and they sort of like seep through the floor. This is fun stuff to talk about, isn't it? Well, this 91-year-old, she's doing just fine. She didn't answer her phone. I think she was in Westlake, Ohio. She lives in Westlake, Ohio. At about 6 p.m., a voluntary automated welfare check system for residents alerted police that this enrolled resident did not answer her check-in phone call. A dispatcher called the 91-year-old's resident's phone, but also received no answer. After calling the woman's daughter and learning that the woman should have been home, the dispatcher sent officers for a wellness check. The officers became more alarmed when there was no answer at her door either, but they got in there and realized that, she was doing just fine. She was just trying to play this bubble pop game and trying to beat her record level. She had those noise-canceling headphones on, so she couldn't hear the phone calls. She was just chilling, doing just fine. I have a good feeling that if I get to 91 years old and someone tries checking in on me, I'm just going to be like, screw off, screw you, just hang the phone right up. They'll keep trying to check in on me. I become irate, start screaming at the police to get out of my house. Here's Pierce the Veil. So far, so fake. It's K-Bear 101. Yesterday, as I was calling people for the K-Bear 101 secret sound powered by the Advocates, remember, there's two ways to try to guess the secret sound. You could tune in every single weekday morning at 7:05, and Victor will give you the hours we'll play that day. And then once that hour hits, listen for that cue to call B-Color 20 at 208-535-1015 and guess the sound correctly, win all the money in the prize pot for the secret sound powered by the Advocates. Or you could fill out the form by going to either the K-Bear 101 app, the Alt 101 app, the Cannonball 101 app. Open up the menu, click on Secret Sound. That takes you to the page to show you the current jackpot, all the incorrect guesses, and at the very bottom there's a form that you can fill out. And basically what happens then is you just fill out the form and listen or wait for us to call you at any point over the next course of I don't know how many days. If you see 208-535-1015 calling you, make sure to pick up. The thing you can't do is miss our call or send us to voicemail, or like yesterday, somebody had their AI assistant all set up and I had to go through that thing before it sent me to voicemail. And then I just hung up because I'm like, well, I got to move on to the next contestant. I need to have somebody try to participate. You can't not answer and then proceed to try to call us back all afternoon going, please, 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 can I play the secret sound? No, you missed your shot. You got one shot, one opportunity, as the great Eminem once said. Make sure when you do fill out that form, you have your phone ready to go at any time, any place. The K-Bear 101 secret sound powered by the Advocates, the current jackpot sitting at $576. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 7:05, Victor will give you the times we'll play. So it's the middle of April, and we're still talking about the McDonald's CEO. Back in February 4th, that's the day that he took the tiny bite of the new Big Arch product, the tiniest of bites, kind of like if he was at a tea party with the Queen, like the tiniest bite you've ever seen. Middle of April, we're still talking about him. His excuse for taking such a tiny bite of the new Big Arch product is his mom. He just blames his mom. He goes, yeah, my mom always told me don't talk with your mouth full, so that's why he took the microscopic nibble instead of just going for it. Imagine being one of the most powerful CEOs in the world, and you're still like, well, I can't take a full bite, my mom will be mad kind of thing. Like, he has the most money out of a lot of people. I still don't even know the guy's name. It doesn't even say here in the article for me. I always thought the CEO of McDonald's was just Ronald, I didn't realize it was this guy. I do find it funny. Wasn't it like last week where we're talking about the guy still, and people were accusing him of being a secret vegan? Again, my former In-N-Out manager, He was a vegan. I believe he still is. And he's still running an In-N-Out location, making money, selling burgers, even though he's eating like tofu sandwiches. Here's Black Veil Bride's Vindicate on Peach's Pit Party. Sleep Theory words are worthless. It's Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. This is today's What? The headline. Imagine you're just chilling at home. Maybe you're on the couch. Maybe you're in the kitchen grabbing a snack. Out of nowhere, a chunk of ice comes crashing through your roof. Not hail, not like a little piece either. We're talking full on. Punches through the roof, through the ceiling, lands on your couch. This happened down in Whittier. Somehow, miraculously, nobody was in the room when it happened, because otherwise I'd be talking about this a whole lot differently for today's What the Headline. Here's where it gets weird. Officials are like, yeah, there was a plane overhead at the time. So now the question becomes, did this thing fall off an airplane, this huge thing of ice? Because if you know, there's really only one kind of mystery, ice falling from a plane that smells bad. And I'm not going to ruin your lunch, but you can connect those dots on your own. The homeowner literally said the ice had a foul smell, and she put it in a bag and stuck it in the freezer. Was it like the size of like a football? I was thinking more so it was like the size of a van come crashing through her roof. No, it was about the size of like a basketball maybe. Oh, that'd be so gross. This foul-smelling ice just crashing through your roof. You're just trying to sit there and enjoy your day. Boom! Anyway, that's today's What the Headline right here on K-Bear 101. There's this whole conversation right now about how AI is starting to change people's career plans, like not in some far off future way. Right now, like literally right now, people are actually rethinking what they want to do, what they should study, even what jobs feel safe anymore. And I think we're all kind of feeling that a little bit, right? Because one minute you're like, yeah, this is my path. And then suddenly it's like, wait, is a robot going to do this better than me in 5 years? Some people are leaning into it, learning how to use AI, making it a part of their job, leveling up with it. Other people are like, nope, I want something hands-on, something real, something that actually matters person to person. There's no wrong answer there. But I will say jobs where you're actually helping people, working face-to-face, making a real difference, those aren't going anywhere. Which brings me to this. If you're sitting there thinking about your next move, or maybe you just want something local, stable, meaningful, you got to check out HireEastIdaho.com to find local jobs from local companies. This week's Hire East Idaho Job of the Week is a certified medical assistant position with Pearl Health Clinic in, where's it at again? Where's it at? In Ammon, over in Ammon. If you're looking for meaningful work in a supportive healthcare environment where you can make a real difference for patients, this could be a great fit. The pay ranges from $17 to $20 an hour, depending on your experience. You'll be doing everything from helping prep patients in exam rooms, assisting with procedures, giving injections, handling records, basically being that key person that keeps everything running smoothly for both the doctors and the patients. They're big on values too. Pearl Health Clinic, service, hope, solutions, and inspire. And they want someone dependable, someone who shows up, works hard, actually cares. You'll need to know your way around medical equipment, computers, EMR systems, all that good stuff. And yep, HIPAA is a must. Requirements including graduating from an accredited medical assisting program, having your CMA or RMA certification or equivalent experience, BLS certification. So if that sounds like something you'd be into, head to HireEastIdaho.com. And while you're there, check out all the other opportunities too, because there are new jobs going up all the time. Hire East Idaho, connecting people with opportunity. In a world that's changing fast, it's not a bad move to find something that actually matters. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, aka Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.